Hi, AT from CNC at Home. I had some bad news last night while I was working with my portable ham radio. It stopped working. When I click the on switch, nothing happens. Now this radio is close to 30 years old and it has some issues being that old. There's got to be a loose connection or something in there. I've had this thing open dozens of times. Tweak this, tweak that, put things back together, and I've always gotten it to work. This time, I'm not so sure. It seems to have done something a little different. My hope is that I can get it working again. The problem is, there's a bunch of little pieces. I don't know if you can see these. There's these little screws there. There's a little screw down here hiding in that. The big parts, like the antenna, not a big deal. I can just take that off. These knobs on the top, they just pull off. No big deal. You set those aside. The battery, that comes out. Not a big deal. It's these little screws, and once I get inside of here, there's several more little screws. I'd like to have a tray that would help me sort these. I'm thinking that's a laser project. Let's go head over to Lightburn, see if we can get something designed up and burned down on the laser. Then we can get started working on my poor radio. To design my sorting tray, I'm going to go to MakerCase. I'll put the link to the website down below. I'm going to use boxes with dividers. It should give us something really nice. First thing I'll do is switch into millimeters. I'm going to make this 150 millimeters wide. I'll make it 20 millimeters tall, and I'll make it 150 in depth as well. And that can be outside dimensions. I don't care about the inside so much. This is going to be 3 millimeter craft plywood. Let's make this 3 by 2. Let's zoom in a little bit on that. That's what we want it to look like. So it'll give me six nice little containers to put my stuff in. I think the finger size is just fine. So I'll go ahead and download the plans for this, and I will save these as an SVG file. Let's head over to Lightburn and see what that looks like. Here we are in Lightburn with our SVG file read in. It's not very optimal how it's using the material. So I'm going to move these things around a little bit. I will start by ungrouping so they're not all together, and I will group some of these together so they do stay together. So I'll group these pieces together, and I'm going to group this large piece with its name. And I'll take these pieces, I'll move them up here, and we'll get them close but not quite touching the pieces below it. And then by holding the Shift key, I'm going to select this piece below it and then align those on that left-hand side. And all these are kind of aligned up. Grab this bottom piece, move it over. Again, get it relatively close but not quite touching. That's a little too close. Okay, right about there, and then by shifting and selecting this piece, I will align the bottoms. So this piece and this piece are now aligned at the bottom. Okay, this looks pretty good. Let's assign the layers correctly. So let's start with this one. Let me just not show any of that stuff. And this and all of those I'm going to assign to my tool layer. Now you'll see that a bunch of stuff got assigned to the tool layer that I didn't want. So let's undo that. Show this again. And I'm going to ungroup those pieces. Then I will hide, do a Control-A to select everything, and then put everything that's selected on my tool layer. That's how I want that to be. Then we will turn this back on. Let's not show the tool layer. Again, Control A. I'm going to put all of this stuff onto tool layer 00. Just because. Absolutely no reason other than just because. I will be cutting this out on the LC50 Plus. So let me go to my library. I'm under plywood, 3mm cut through. I'm going to assign that to the black layer. Do a quick preview to see how long this is going to take. Okay, according to this, it's going to take about 32 minutes to do. And the path takes it pretty much along this edge. And then at some point, it must start down here. And then once it's done cutting this one, it moves over to here. What that'll allow me to do is put a couple magnets on this piece to hold everything nice and still. There really isn't enough room to put magnets over here. Hopefully I won't need them. Okay, let's take absolutely everything here and we'll just put it down in the lower left corner. We'll make sure that our laser is set up. I'm actually going to use current position, but lower left hand corner I will position the laser on my material right near its corner, make sure all of this fits. So this whole thing, if I just grab this piece, I can look down here and see that it's 301.1 millimeters. That's the width of this. And the height of it is 50 or 150. I need to go find a piece of craft plywood that's 301.1, so just over 300, and make sure that I've got 150 in the other direction. Should be easy enough to find. Let's get this over to the laser and start burning. Let's get this glued together. I'm going to use just some regular old wood glue. I've got a brush to help me spread that around. It's just gluing, so I don't need to say anything. Let's go into fast motion. We'll let this sit here and dry, and then I'll be able to use that to sort some pieces. Alright, this is assembled enough where we can see if it's working or not. Let's get this knob back on just to make it a little easier. Well, here goes. Yeah, nothing. So that's kind of been the issue. I've been going in and out, trying to find loose connections. The sorting tray has worked really well for me here. Getting the radio fixed, however, has not. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, think about subscribing, as that really helps us out. Enjoy doing your CNC at home projects.